What's up, fellow Olympians? Here with the first place Monarch deck that we ran in locals. Team Olympus got first place at the local tournament, as you could tell by the first place Monarch deck. So just wanted to give you the deck profile of the Monarch build that did first place. It was actually tied for first place at the local, so we're going to do another deck profile later this week or probably next week to show you the other one that we tied, because it came down to both our decks, Team Olympus decks. Jake won with the Monarchs and Josh won with his Kaiju Gradles. They didn't let us play each other, so that's why we tied, because we did 4 duels and both of them went
3-1.
3-1. The only Jake misplayed on one of his Monarchs and
Cost him the duel.
Yeah, it cost him the duel, but he played Cyber Dragon, so Cyber Dragon player was pretty good, and I'll post that duel up later. But here's the deck build for the Monarchs.
Alright, you guys. So starting off, as everything, we're gonna do 3 Ebus, or however you say his name. When he is tribute summoned out on the field, you can go ahead and send 2 Monarch Spell Trap cards to the graveyard, and when you do, you can go ahead and target, well, you don't target, but you can send 1 card from hand, field, or graveyard and shuffle it back into the deck. Also, if he's in the graveyard, you can go ahead and discard 1 Monarch Spell Trap card and go ahead and grab a 28 or 2400 attack and 1000 defense and add it back to your hand. So you can add him back to your hand by using the effect of discarding 1 Monarch Spell Trap card. Then I run 3 Ether. This card sets you up for your OTK because it can let you special summon. So once it's as of Ebus, so once it gets tribute summon, you go ahead and send 2 Monarch Spell Trap cards, send it to the graveyard with different names, and go ahead and special summon one monster with 2400 or more attack and 1000 defense, and at the end of the phase it gets returned back to your hand. And this card is really good. And also on your opponent's side of the field, she has kind of her effect to where she can be like an instant tribute, so you can go ahead and storm forth on your opponent's side of the field and a kind of little quick play, and I'll get into that right now. We run 3 Idea. Idea is the main card. This is a card you want to open up with, because when you open up with her and you have another Monarch, Mega Monarch in your hand, you can go ahead and go straight into multiple plays, as in you go ahead and go normal summon for Idea. Idea lets you special summon Edea, and then from there Edea gives you your extra normal summon, and that's when you go ahead and tribute out. Then I run only 2 Edeos. I believe Edeos is just 3 gets clunky, but I do side deck it. So I have opened up with like 2 or 3 Edeos, and it's kind of horrible. I run 1 Cause just because if you play a player that runs dark monsters, his effect that lets you go ahead and banish the dark monsters. Game Saver, which is right here, is Talos. Talos, once he is tribute summon, you go ahead and look at your opponent's hand and target 1 monster and go ahead and send it to the graveyard, and then do 200 damage for each star. So if they have a dark planet, which is a 10, you can send it to the graveyard, and that's 2000 life points they take. So it's kind of a good card to do some instant damage. I run 3 Majesty Fiends. Majesty Fiends are what can stop a lot of people, just for a fact cannot be activated. Card effects cannot be activated. So monster effects in graveyard, field, cosmos like to do both, stops them from doing that, but they also can get around it. But as of every other deck, this one is really good to stop people. I run only 2 Vanities. I don't think Vanities at 3 is that great, and especially it's hard when you get them in your hand and you have no idea. I run 2 Maxi for draw power. I run 3 Effect Veilers just in case something happens and I need to negate the effect, kind of like Gradles or Cosmos. It's a good card just to have it so you don't get blown up. I run 1 Kraz. Kraz is kind of like a Twin Twister, but every time you're only allowed to destroy 2 cards, and when you destroy up to 2 cards, your opponent can, either you or your opponent can draw those cards. So it's kind of a Twin Twister with draw power for either you or your opponent. That's it for the monsters. Now for Now for the spells, I run 3 Pantheism. Pantheism, if you have this card and another monarch card in your hand, go ahead and activate Pantheism, send it to the graveyard, draw power, again draw 2 cards. You can banish this card, target 3 monarch spell or trap cards in your deck, reveal them, and then your opponent chooses one. So this is where you want tenacity, or you go for your big plays. Tenacity, which is kind of like the same, except reveal a 2800 or 2400 attack monster with 1000 defense, and you can go ahead and grab any monarch spell or trap card from your deck and go ahead and add it to your hand. Domain, great card, stops extra deck because of the tribute, and then also you can target any of your monarch cards, or any monster card I should say, was 2800 or more attack and 1000 defense. You can go ahead and target them. It goes down to 2 scales, so it goes to a level 6. If it go ahead and attacks your opponent's monster, you can go ahead, it gains 800 attack on top of the monster. So if you go ahead and you go ahead and you tribute and you get Kraz, then you go ahead and try to attack your monster, so it gets 3200. So it's kind of a good way to bounce over people. I run 3 Stormforce, so Stormforce, everybody knows the tribute. 1 for 1, because it's 1 for 1. I run 1 March and 1 Return, 1 Rhoda, 1 Prime, 1 Escalation of the Monarchs. This is a good card on your opponent's side of on your opponent's phase. You could go ahead and tribute summon 1 monster. That's really good, because you could get an Ibris or Ether or something to do like a play to mess them up. It's a really good card. 1 Solemn, and I might end up maybe taking these out, but I do run 2 Drowning Mirror Forces just for the fact in case the brick is hard and they're going to hit you with something. It doesn't target, just shuffles them back into the deck, so it's really good. So this is my deck build of my Monarchs. I hope you guys like it. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Now, one thing though, we did get this idea from this deck build from Team Samurai. Team Samurai he had like the genius idea, I don't know if he got it by himself or whatever, to add the Vanity Fiend in there to shut down and lock down other decks. So check him out too. Team Samurai is really good. I think we did change a few things that what he ran to make it our own deck, but yeah, we did get the idea from him.
Yeah, I mean, this deck did top first. It's really good. Like I said, it's just a little misplays here and there, but it's gonna, by next week it'll be a lot better, and hopefully it'll be #1 again on the tournament. Thank you for guys watching.